It's going to be a hot one at my house today. 97 degrees is forecasted. Woke up at 6:30 and I was like, man, I do not want to go down to a hot shop. So decided to go flying instead. This little spot I've landed before over the years. I was kind of surprised to see all the work they're doing on the river, and a little disappointed to see how they've redirected and churned up a bunch of the really cool spots that I used to have. But I guess there's nothing I can do about that. So I landed this little spot, realized my windscreen's not as clean as I thought it was when I left this morning. When I'm landing into the sun, there's a bunch of shit on it. Anyway, I'm out for a few hours, maybe a little less, and I'm gonna bag a few spots, as they say. Some of the spots I've landed before, some of the spots I've never landed before. I don't show you any of the reconnaissance. I only show you the takeoff and landing, but if I haven't landed it before, I make a low approach in, make sure there's no wires, make sure there's nothing that's going to get me hanging out over the river. Just looking for the normal gotchas that could really ruin your day. So trees, can basically, the bank can get eroded away, and then all of a sudden you have a tree that's a sweeper hanging out over the river. So you really got to watch for them. It's not quite as hard to see them during the summertime because they got leaves on them during spring and summer. But when it's wintertime and there's no leaves, it's really easy to miss a tree. So take your time, do good reconnaissance work, and always leave yourself an out if you can. This was basically going to be a one-way once I decided to commit to it. Anyway, getting my tires on the ground, it's a certain point, it's going to be kind of hard to go around and make this turn. Probably could do it, but I kind of would rather commit to it and not have a question as to whether I can make that turn. So I knew I could make it, and I landed it. I've been using my airplane more as a tool than for fun like this. I typically have been flying all the way up to my girlfriend's house, which is about 100 miles direct from my house to hers. And I do see some cool places along the way, and I think, I should land that spot, or I should come back and land that on the way home. But it just seems like I'm always in a hurry, either going up or coming back. And so I kind of miss out on some of the cool places that I see along the way. One of these days, I'm going to hit a bunch of them and have my camera on when I do. Last weekend, I was over in Idaho for my annual father-daughter float trip down the Selway River, and the river was very low, but we managed to go ahead and have a good time. Seems like each year the river gets a little lower for August 1st, which is the month that you can actually, anytime after August 1st, you can float the river without a permit. And I think we've decided that we need to start getting a permit so that we can float it a little bit earlier in the season. The river flows have just become so minimal that it's, it's getting to the point where you're just dragging bottom, and the excitement of some of the rapids is pretty much nil. So anyway, I still look forward to that trip each year. I've been doing it for, I think, 17 years now, and it's a good time with my daughter. I've been wanting to develop some products for myself, for my machine shop, and so I have basically made a gascolator and a 90-degree oil filter adapter machine from billet, and I'm going to show them to you at the end of this video. So if you're interested in seeing what I've done, stick around. Give you a short tour of my shop and what I'm working on in my shop, and then on to what I've created. So stick around. Thanks for flying along. It's going to be a hot one today. It's supposed to be 97 degrees for the high. So anyway. Today I am making brake pedals for Alaska Gear Company, part of their PA18 brake pedal. So that's what I'm making with all these. Getting my adventure bike ready to go, rebuilding the forks, and getting a new rear tire. And then we're making brake housings over here. That helicopter. I am working on some of my own parts now. This is a gascolator. It will mount directly to the firewall. It basically has like a male-female pattern to come apart and one safety clip. So it's pretty simple to take apart. And there's the bowl and the top. And then the top would just fit inside. Line up the lines, put it together. I have both styles. You can either do a Piper mount style, and the Piper mount style is basically, it fits with the Piper bracket, so you can have a gascolator that actually works with your original Piper bracket. And then I'm also making my own oil filter adapter, and I've been running it on my airplane for almost 2 years now. And so that's the oil filter adapter, machined from a solid piece of billet aluminum and with a stainless steel nipple screwed in. And then I have various spacer blocks to go with it. I have custom gaskets that fit it properly.